This is the road thus far. Then. Now. I'm Craven Van Candy, and for 15 seasons, Supernatural turned urban legends into nightmares, horror tropes into heartbreak. But some episodes capture that perfect, eerie, tragic, and unforgettable feeling. Tonight I give you 5 episodes that encapsulate Supernatural at its most disturbing. At number 5, Ghostfacers, Season 3, Episode 15. Yeah, they're back. Harry Spengler and Ed Zedmore, solidifying themselves as the slam-dunk favorites of all recurring Supernatural characters. This is an unlikely duo of paranormal chasing fanboys. When they introduced the title sequence of their new show, it's have to be seen to be believed. It's a do-it-yourself found footage aesthetic, drenched in grainy night vision and glitching Blair Witch-inspired camera work. Then we see the title card, Ghostfacers. Pure early 2000s cheese, a perfect spot-on parody of the paranormal hunting craze that took reality TV by storm. Sam and Dean hilariously bump into the duo and their sycophantic crew. Madness ensues. The location, it's a legendary place called the Morton House. The catch is that every leap year, the spectral apparitions come out and play. Now the satire is short-lived, because the second half, well, that's where the nightmares live. Here's where we meet Freeman Daggett. Occupation, janitor. Status, undead. Hobbies include playing with dead things and a very unhealthy birthday party fetish. Daggett will go down as quite possibly the most creepy and disturbing spectral adversary in the history of the show, trapping the Winchester boys and the Ghostfacers crew inside a repeating time loop of violence and murder called the Death's Echo. This one balances the shift in tone beautifully, as the self-aware comedy dissolves into depravity and madness. One of the most memorable episodes, one of the most creative, and it's highly recommended, and a great way to start your Halloween binge. At number 4, The Benders, Season 1, Episode 15. On the subject of Supernatural, Jensen Ackles was asked what his favorite episode was. Without hesitation, he said The Benders. No wonder, it's a different tone, a different kind of vibe for the show. No demons, no curses, just human beings gone completely feral. Sam and Dean go to Minnesota to investigate a man who vanished underneath the shadows of a seedy parking lot. As Sam is investigating, well, the same happens to him. Let's just say this episode is in touch with the lizard part of its brain, as it devolves into a redneck slaughterhouse battle royale. Unapologetic brutality, blood, gore, and excessive implications of torture. This one's not for the faint of heart, nor the squeamish, let me tell you. The human hunting backwoods family in this one, well, they're the very worst of the hillbilly creed that run rampant in movies like The Hills Have Eyes, Last House on the Left. And at a glance, you might think that Supernatural were just trying to cash in on the mid-2000s torture horror that was making bank at the box office at the time. But no, The Benders separates itself. With unequaled intensity, strong performances from all involved, it's a powerful hour of television, bleak, shocking, and proof that sometimes the scariest monsters don't come from hell. They just might live right next door to you. And number 3, Bloody Mary, Season 1, Episode 5. Yes, this was the one that hooked me. First season, 5th episode. Still considered quite possibly the scariest episode of the mid-2000s. This was the moment that many of us pledged our allegiance and became devoted to this incredible show. This is unadulterated, distilled horror. Raw, visceral. Every mirror becomes a death trap as a vengeful spirit targets those with deep, dark secrets that stains their soul of his blood. The urban legend of Bloody Mary gets the supernatural treatment, slipping from mirror to mirror and scratching the eyes out of those with blood on their hands. The show's creator, Eric Kripke, crafts a masterclass in writing horror television. The chemistry between Jensen Ackles as Dean Winchester and Jared Padalecki as Sam Winchester prove they were born to play these roles. And this one has so many unforgettable moments, as Bloody Mary's origin story reads like the Black Dahlia. The moment when Sam accepts his fate, that he has to become the bait to summon Bloody Mary and destroy her, as he looks in the mirror and says Bloody Mary twice. The pause and still intensity right before he draws another breath to utter Bloody Mary a third time is one of the true iconic moments in the history of the show. Smash mirrors, bloody tears, and moments that recall Japanese horror classics such as The Ring and The Grudge. This is the hour that announced to the world that supernatural had arrived. And number 2, Family Remains, Season 4, Episode 11. In the early days of episodic ranking lists and critical essays and consensus, this one rarely got mentioned or ranked at all. But it's funny how time can age things, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. But the terrifying themes of this one finally caught up to its relevance. Sometimes far-fetched tropes of yesterday become the reality for today and tomorrow. In this digital surveillance age, with dash cams, body cams, every kind of cam, we can see things that we can't unsee. And one of those things is something terrifying. That's when someone or something has been actively living, surviving in your home, tucked away in the shadows unseen. Scary, isn't it? Well, this episode hits that nerve, the invasions of our privacy. Sam and Dean think they're dealing with a haunting until they learn what's really lurking about. Yes, the girl in the walls. She's one of the most savage, cunning, and capably diabolical baddies the brothers Winchester has ever faced. The family in this one, the Carter family, they move in the house looking for a fresh start. Instead, their housewarming is interrupted as they become sitting ducks, waiting to be picked off one by one by the girl who lurks within the walls. This family, they're likable, endearing, and broken. We grow to really appreciate them and sympathize with them after we hear the tragic backstory filled with pain, loss, and suffering. This one trades the paranormal for perhaps something far worse in the wake of all the terror. Jensen Ackles really brings it in this episode, showing his range. In an inspired moment, Dean sheds the burden of trauma victim and reclaims his rightful place as badass hero again. This one has shades of Wes Craven's People Under the Stairs. It checks all the boxes. Shocking deaths, surprise visitors, claustrophobic spaces, and a pulse-pounding rescue mission that highlights the exciting final act. Family Remains doesn't disappoint. It delivers the perfect penultimate episode before you get to the most Halloween episode of all supernatural episodes. Well, that's because it's the only one. Number 1, it's The Great Pumpkin, Sam Winchester. Season 4, Episode 7. As I mentioned, this is the first Halloween-themed episode of Supernatural, and surprisingly, its last. This one hits hard. Not even 10 minutes in, we see a husband sneak candy behind his wife's back, only to get a mouthful of razor blades for his trouble. A hot cheerleader gets boiled alive bobbing for apples, and hex bags have been placed throughout a quiet upper-class neighborhood. The brothers suspect a witch, and it's brought to their attention that this is all a sacrificial ritual. to summon the OG Hallows Eve big bad of all big bads, Samhain, or to us non-Wicker Man worshipping folk, Samhain. It's not all about Hades as heaven makes its presence felt, sending down Castiel, of course, and Uriel in a brief but impactful appearance. They come bearing the gifts of fire and brimstone, threatening to, quote, purify, unquote. In other words, destroy the whole city before the evil of Samhain is unleashed. This one covers a lot of unconsecrated ground, as we see rituals, incantations, an undead demon-possessed schoolteacher, a drug-induced high school Halloween party held at a mausoleum becoming a feeding frenzy for a gang of pissed-off, venom-spewing zombies. It's also an unflinching look at the devil's holiday. This one is drenched in history, customs, and lore, the very things that make Halloween a day to be feared. This episode belongs to Jared Padalecki in his most commanding performance, showcasing Sam as a more mature, strong young man, burdened with the curse of demon blood running through his veins. So there you have it, my 5 must-watch, standout episodes of Supernatural. Go ahead, without further ado, grab some rock salt, hit the road, and remember, monsters may be real, but family is the scariest thing to lose. Thanks again for joining me. I'm Craven Van Candy. And wherever you may be, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Carry on, my wayward son, and good riddance.